Welcome to Simply Safety version 6 movie, getting started using the People Import feature. The purpose of the import feature in a first-time setup of Simply Safety is importing your people records so you don't have to manually add them. And for possible ongoing use, if you can export from another program, updating active and inactive status in people and their hire and fire dates. In this movie we'll cover the following areas: the People module, mandatory fields, setup module, import functions, the Excel file people.xls, which is located in the images import directory in version 6, how to do a people import, and reviewing the import report. How it works: there's 3 areas involved in this import: the People module, the setup module, and an Excel spreadsheet called people.xls. We're going to import people to the People module from a Microsoft Excel 97-2003 format spreadsheet. This spreadsheet needs to contain accurate data in a specific format with a number of mandatory fields. Unless the data is correctly formatted, the import will fail. The import itself is done from the Setup module in the IT System Information tab under the Import button. You can print detailed instructions there. Before we can do the import, we have to find the people.xls file and populate it. First we want to find the file, then make a copy of it and leave the original in that directory. The people.xls file must be in Microsoft Excel 97-2003 format and must contain the necessary mandatory fields. At the end of the import, a success fail report will appear on the screen. You can access the Import module in Simply Safety Setup module by clicking the Import button located in the lower left corner of the screen. The Import module will then open and help information will appear on the screen. At the bottom of the Import module is an Import Instructions button. Please press that button and print the detailed import instructions before proceeding. Your people.xls file is normally located in your shared directory. In the Setup module, click on the IT System Information tab and look at the path set to the shared folder in the lower right part of the screen. This is normally where your people.xls and incidents.xls template files are located. Make a copy of the people.xls file before beginning to work with it. Make a backup of the original file and name it original_people.xls. Then just work with the file called people.xls. It needs to be named that to be found for the import. You will need to populate this people.xls file either by exporting from another application or copying, pasting your people into it. Next, open up your copy of people.xls and have a look at it. There may be some demo data already in there that you'll want to delete. Remember, if you open it in a later version of Excel, the file needs to be saved back to Excel 97-2003 format to be successfully imported. The file contains mandatory fields in yellow column headers. These fields must be populated. And ensure that the date formats in all the fields is to the US standard: 2-digit month, 2-digit day, and 4-digit year. In doing any kind of an import, the integrity of your data is very important, and this is where you should spend the bulk of your time in preparing the data for import. Some of the data fields you will be importing should pre-exist in Simply Safety. Check that the data items in the fields in yellow below exist in Simply Safety Setup tab 3 Pick Lists, and/or that the company name or names to be imported exist in the Simply Safety Companies module. If the data in the spreadsheet does not exist in the Simply Safety program, add it into the Simply Safety program before proceeding. I can't overemphasize how important it is to have your data clean and consistent before it's imported. For example, if we imported 3 people and their province was set for the first one to BC and for the second one to B period, C period, and to the third one British Columbia, then we would have imported 3 different provinces. And we would not be able to filter on British Columbia and get all 3 people. We just get 1 person. We recommend that you export your people data to the people.xls spreadsheet, then check the data for misspellings, duplications, consistency, etc. in the yellow fields and all of the other fields. Correct anything that needs correction. Ensure all the dates are in month, month, day, day, y format. Once your data is clean, make sure the yellow field items are added to Simply Safety, Setup Tab 3 Pick Lists, and companies are added and existing in the Companies module. Check the spelling of the company's name. Make sure that it's consistent in the spreadsheet and inside Simply Safety. Just another note on data integrity. Simply Safety should be fully set up before you do your people import. So my recommendation, export your data. If you're just setting up Simply Safety for the first time, export your data to the Excel spreadsheet, clean up this Excel spreadsheet, then go through the Setup module and the Companies module and make sure all of the information you have in your spreadsheet, job titles, regions, sites, departments, etc., is in the Simply Safety program. When you're adding regions and sites, first add your regions in the Setup module, then sites. Sites are attached to regions. The region below is British Columbia, and the sites are Vancouver, Burnaby, and Surrey. Employees belong to a region and a site. The importer is expecting each imported employee to have a site which belongs to the correct region. Since we're importing to the People module, your Excel spreadsheet needs to include 6 mandatory fields for each person. If it does not, the import will fail. The required fields are first name, last name, employee number, region, site, and company. The employee number field is called a number, but it's actually alphanumeric. Letters and numbers can be used. In addition to the 6 mandatory fields, you should include as many of the other fields as is convenient. This will save you from having to manually add it later. Fields particularly important could be job title, department, people type, date hired, terminated date, and layoff date. Date fields in the people.xls file. There are 4 date fields in the import file. None are mandatory, but some may be very important for your use of the program. The date hired, terminated date, and layoff date are used by Simply Safety to determine which employers are active and which are inactive. Remember the mandatory date format: month, month, day, day, year, 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 year. Please pay special attention to these dates when importing. Make sure all the dates are in the correct format and that they actually make sense. I've just opened up the Simply Safety Setup module, and I'm preparing now to do a people data import from the People XLS spreadsheet. I've been through my pick lists, and I'm sure that my regions are all set up properly. I have sites, they're all attached to a region. All the job titles, people types, etc. that I'm going to import already exist in the Simply Safety program. I know that my company names in the spreadsheet match a company name in the companies table in Simply Safety. On the IT System Information tab in the lower right corner, the current location of your shared data location, that is where you're going to find inside the imports directory your people.xls sheet. To do an import, we click on the Import button in the lower left corner. That opens up the import module. Note that there's import instruction button at the bottom of the screen. I'm just going to bring up those instructions on the screen now so you have a quick look at them. Please print these instructions out before you do your import. These instructions include information on importing people from the People XLS and incidents from the incidents.xls. There are differences in doing both imports. The people import can be done more than once, and it will not duplicate records. If the dates change, the hire date, terminated, layoff date, it will update that in the Simply Safety program. Incidents or injuries, however, should be imported only once because they will duplicate records. I'm now looking at the People Import Spreadsheet help file, and everything that's in green, these 6 fields in green, are mandatory. So if you notice on the Import Data form, there's 2 tabs at the top. The first and the default tab is the People Import. People import you'd normally do when you're setting up Simply Safety for the first time, and some companies do it on a regular basis if they can export from another application to import the active inactive status of people in Simply Safety. The other tab is for incidents. That's normally also done once when you're first setting up Simply Safety, and again, you can't re-import the same incident spreadsheet or it will duplicate records. People will not reduplicate records. So when you're looking at the People tab, you're looking at a list of the people that currently exist in the program. And the program I'm using is a demo database. None of these people are real. Okay, so you've cleaned up your people.xls spreadsheet. All the data has consistency and integrity. You've read all the instructions and you're ready to import. Simply press the import button. And that's what happens if your people.xls is not in the correct directory. It needs to be in your shared file location in the images imports directory. Let's try this again. We get a message, Simply Safety is ready to import 6 rows. Click OK to proceed. Before we do that, I just want to show you my people.xlx spreadsheet because I've done a really bad job on it here. I've created some intentional errors in here just to see what's going to happen. This data doesn't have integrity. There's a number of things missing in this spreadsheet. So I'm just going to run it and we'll see what happens. Okay, it takes a minute or two and then we get a report that comes up on screen that we have had 1 good record imported and 5 bad records have not been imported, and it gives us a reason why the records were not imported. So next I will print this out. I'll go back to my spreadsheet and I will correct those records and re-import them. I've just opened up the People and module in Simply Safety after the import, and I can see that I have 1 good record that was imported here for John 5 Good, and we had just put mandatory information in for him, but his record has successfully been imported. This concludes this People import movie, and just to review, again, it's important that your data in your spreadsheet is clean and consistent, that Simply Safety is fully set up in the Setup module, Pick List, and Companies module, so that the information that you're bringing in from the spreadsheet, job titles, departments, regions, sites, company names, etc., already exists in Simply Safety. That your people.xls spreadsheet is located in the correct place in the images imports directory, and that it's in Excel 97 2003 format. If you're importing many rows, the importer does take time to process the files. Please try not to interrupt the importer when it's running. That's a good time to go for coffee. When it's finished, a message will pop up on the screen that allows you to print a success fail report. Thank you for watching this movie.